welcome to my channel. Today's video will jumpstart a series which will be focused on budgeting. Part 1 is today and it is how to get started. My video will give you 6 tips for budgeting when you don't know where to start. What is budgeting? Budgeting is creating a plan to spend your money. So tip number 1 would be know why you want to create a budget. This is important because if you have a reason or a goal, you are more likely to stick with it. You will be motivated by it. What is your goal? Why do you want to create a budget? Is it to pay off a personal loan, a car loan, vacation, saving up for a wedding, put together a savings? Whatever the reason is, write it down and set a time frame in which you want to achieve it. Then when you create your budget, you can put all your extra funds towards this goal. Tip number 2 would be to track all of your expenses. This will be keeping all of your receipts for at least the next 30 days, especially if you're a beginner. 30 days is a good time frame to start with. You want to make sure that if you do not get a receipt generated for you, that you can create your own. Simply take a sticky note or a piece of paper, making sure that you write the date on there, the description, and the amount. And then you can put this with the receipts that you already have. If you have a bank card, don't forget to print out your statement, and the same thing applies for a credit card. After the 30 days, you will be able to go back and analyze exactly where you are spending your money. Keeping all of these items in a folder will help keep you organized. There are also things that you can get from the dollar store as far as like coupon holders or a bill and home organizer that has pockets in it, but I recommend you to just use whatever you have at home if you're just beginning. I have shown a quick example of what some expenses would be, so just making sure and we're mindful of all the expenses that you have. This is a time to be completely honest with yourself on what you have spent. If for some reason you do not want to keep a whole pile of receipts, you can use a pre-printed expense template, which allows you to write down all of your expenses. It has the date and it has the amount line for you to be able to do so. At the end, there's usually is a total column, so you can also keep track of your expending that way. If you don't have a template, you can use a notebook, a notepad, whatever you have available to be able to write down a list everything that you have spent. Me personally, I like to use Excel, but I know that there are a lot of people who are not very fluent in Excel, so these are just some options in which you can list all of your expenses. I just recommend you do whatever is good for you. Tip number 3 would be to total all of your expenses. This is where you will take everything that you have spent for the month and add them up together. Don't forget to include those items from the receipts if you did not log them in your tracker, so that way you will have an accurate number of what you spent for the month. Tip number 4 would be to total all of your income that you expect to receive for that month. I am going to show you an example of some of the different incomes that may slip through the crack, but make sure that you include them if you expect to receive it for that month. Tip number 5 would be to figure out all of your due dates. Due dates usually stay the same, so once you figure this out, then you can repeat this every month, changing only the amounts if you need to. This is extremely helpful to help you decide how you can pay your bills and from which check you will pay them from when you get paid. Side note, If you figure out too many bills are due in the same time frame, you can call your provider to see if they are willing to change your due dates. I know for myself, I was able to do that and change quite a bit of dates that were due all in the same paycheck. This eliminated a lot of strain and stress due to everything being due at the same time. Most providers, like I said, are flexible, but if they do change your due dates, a lot of times this results in a slightly higher bill because of the change in the bill cycle. However, this will be extremely worth it if it means that it will eliminate having so many bills due at the same time and also give you a break when it comes to paying these bills out of the same check. Tip number 6 would be review and consider. Now that you have all your expenses totaled in your income, you get a true understanding of where you stand. Is your income more than your expenses? Or is your expenses more than your income? Hopefully, your income is more than your expenses. However, if you do find out that your expenses is more than your income, this is the time for you to go back and look and see where exactly you can cut back. Can you cut back on eating out so much or grabbing coffees? This is the time where you can truly consider making your own meals or making coffee at home, little things in which you can cut back on. If you find that you do not want to cut back on these expenses, is there any way for you to make more money? Can you get more hours at work? Are you able to work a second job? Do you have a hobby that you can generate income from? All of these things are things you need to consider. And that concludes my tips. If you found that they were helpful, please give me a thumbs up, hit the post notification button, and subscribe to my channel to catch me on the next one, which is part 2 on actually creating a budget. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, remember to keep your head high and strive to be a better you. Thanks so much. Bye.